Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? Yes, sir, there you
Yo,
are. Glad you could make it, buddy.
what's up, man?
How you doing?
Yeah, long time no talk.
Yeah, long time. Just,
Yeah, I guess you're not gonna be able to share your screen with us, so maybe you can send some charts next
yeah,
later on.
definitely. I'll send some charts in. That small government, maintain status quo, low taxes, yeah, and you have the Labour Party on the other side. But the Labour Party, the problem what it does is as soon as you own your home, it starts punishing you, right? And taxing and all this business, and then everything's always racial. Everything's always racial. So the problem is that for example, with this corona business, right, the kind of, if you're a kind of a minority or whatever, you're at a higher chance of dying, just for the thing. But the thing is, majority of, like, say, like my family's from Pakistan, right? Majority of us work in healthcare, so like of course we're going to be more at risk anyway. Do you know what I mean? And if you're a doctor and you're this and that, so is that the government's fault? But
Nope.
then, what they do is they make it a racial issue when it isn't one. Do you see
Yeah.
where I'm coming from?
You gotta love identity politics, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's a very nasty game. So, I'm very successful, blah, 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 blah. But apparently it's the government's fault that I'm at risk. But it's not, because, they sent me to university. I did well. It's not their fault, is it? So they want to create something out of nothing.
It's not their fault that you went to school and worked your ass off and then were able to buy a home.
Yeah, that's the thing. And so, the moment you own your house, they don't want to know you. And so they want you to live in social housing. So we've got much, much more social housing in this country than I think you guys have in America in that sense. Like, our social housing system is absolutely massive. So, and what the Conservatives, when they came in the 80s, what Thatcher did, which is absolutely amazing, she privatized, she gave you the right to buy your council house, your government housing. Nice. So that's just amazing. And it created billions and billions and billions of pounds of wealth transferring from the government to local pockets, you see? So all of a sudden people started owning their own property, and now everybody in the UK, wants to own the property, you see?
Yeah, who doesn't want to own it?
It's funny how similar our systems are, as far as the two parties, that their ideals are exactly the same. All, the Labor Party and Democrats are all identity politics. They want to keep you dependent on the government. And even though I'm not a Republican by any means, my outlook is similar to, conservative Republican views. But still, the Republicans were the party of endless wars in the early 2000s. So I hated them as much as I hate the Democrats now. You know what I'm saying?
I think a
crazy.
lot of us are somewhere in the middle. I mean, a lot of us feel we're abandoned, We're somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
We like a bit of this, we like a bit of that, and then we're forced to make a choice. From even our local MPs, some of them are just appalling. They're absolutely useless,
Yep. This is what's happening, man.
It's funny.
Most people are in the middle, but because of social media, I like one post about Trump, and then all of a sudden I started going down this Trump wormhole, and it becomes an echo chamber, and it's more and more and more conservative. Same thing on the left, because I try to follow both. I followed Bernie Sanders, I follow Joe Biden, and so I can get both sides of it, but I start to follow, click on more of the left side, and it becomes an echo chamber. It becomes more and more.
Yeah.
That's how you got the Antifa guys and girls, and that's how you get the extremists on the right side.
Have you seen the movie, the documentary Social Dilemma?
I hadn't seen that yet. No.
Have you seen the Social Dilemma? Dude, it hits right on that, how the AI manifests are leaning, whichever way we're going to lean, and it just totally envelops us, which is true. It becomes an addiction. It's clickbait, like click, 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 click. You know, just making you, you know, that much more extreme on whichever side you're on.
Well,
Yeah,
it's good that both you guys are on here for just to kind of steer us back into trading talk, and both y'all are about as political as I am as far as like following politics right now and risk on and risk off. Where do you think we're going in the next 9 days?
Well, I think that with regards to the EU, I think the Brexit talks are happening. Okay, so the pound, I mean, it looks bearish at the moment, right? But any hint of good news that comes out of the so, for example, the first bit of good news came out, I think today, where the EU negotiators is not going home on Sunday, but is staying until Wednesday. All right, so the market can interpret that as positive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And
technically on the pound GU specifically, it looks like we could go lower and then just explode higher.
Explode higher. Yeah, and that would work out to you still have a bit of downside. And then as soon as some news comes in midweek, like for example, when the negotiator comes out and says, "Oh, we've had productive talks," you can see it doing that jump midweek. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes. Go ahead, Stephen. Go ahead, man.
I have the I make an index of all the major pairs and all the major currencies, and I have looked at the GBP, and it looks like it's in a demand zone, and there's a shit ton of room for upside for this pair right now. Like if it breaks through this demand zone it's in, you know, on the index, it's going to plummet. But if it can hold and then power up through this the supply zone that's made it drop so far, then I really feel like it's going through the roof. Like there's so much room for upside either way, but I'm definitely, you know, bullish on sentiment from where we're at right now.
The technicals are showing that. Yeah.
Or just for the pound, Stephen.
Yeah, just for the pound.
Right. And yes, man, you got like, so Yasser, just to give you some background, and Rico too. You know, Yasser's one of my best friends. He joined my group like probably 3 years ago, one of the first people. And, you know, we've gotten to know each other super well. So I'm really like excited for him to join us in the accelerator. Man, his risk management is just on point. And Yasser, the way Stephen trades and Rico is like completely off supply and demand zones. Do you remember how when we were on that call, we did a Zoom call, just me and you, and we were talking about how it seems like the market these days is moving more horizontally rather than
it is. And absolutely,
these big ass zones is like you know, I think especially with the way you trade too, with your fast 15-minute scalping, 30-minute looking for a resistance to break, get the retest, and then buy off that wick, basically, right?
It's the same thing. It's the same. I mean, effectively, it's the same thing as what he's doing, because he said that, you know, there was that supply zone, that demand zone, and I've got the picture in my head on the 4 hour. I think, haven't you, on the GBJPY at the moment? On the 4 hour, there was that definite demand there, and it looks like it could just have a small dip and then a real rocket bounce, which is what I can imagine it doing by midweek. I think, you know.
Yeah. So what do you guys think in terms of like where are we going with risk on and risk off? Like just a blanket statement with the market before we start looking at some charts here. Like with
I feel like it's going to be risk off. Honestly, all of the risk assets, like all of your risk currencies, are going into supply right now. So, and we talked about this in the elite chat. Like Johnny was saying too, that I think that fundamentals are really, you know, they line up with technicals almost because they're done. It's done like that on purpose. It's created. So, I mean, I had the NZD like going bearish pretty much as soon as market opens, and I feel like, you know, we're gonna be a risk off type of week, to be honest with you. I really do feel that way.
You think the risk off will happen, and kind of, I was thinking if it is risk off, and is that going to load us up for then hopefully, you know, not hopefully, I don't want to get too political, if Trump wins, then that'll create a huge risk on rally in the markets following that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think that is exactly what's going to happen, to be honest with you. I mean, and I hope so too.
Right. Yeah. So this is what I'm looking at. I already shared because I want to get some charts too for people who will watch this later for GBP USD. If y'all haven't seen my video on the pound, check it out. I mean, we're in this. Raul actually turned me onto this channel, dude. Awesome job, bro. And yeah, and so like we're in this channel. If what we're talking about with Yasser happens, and you know we start to just get a little bit of more weakness, some more indecision, more risk off on on the pound, man, that would line us up for the bottom of this channel, the 38.2, and which could just set us up for beast mode up to the 78.6% retracement. But the other side of that, and like I was just looking at what we're talking, if risk off happens too, which I think there's just so much indecision. I don't see why it wouldn't. Dollar Swiss, man. I mean, we're just like, look where we're at down here. Maybe we would get some sort of like one last, I wouldn't rule out like one last push down here to this like 127% extension. And then that could be a catalyst for us to, you know, to shake out all the longs, stop everybody out, and then have a big move to the upside here. If we get some dollar strength, then like, dollar CAD still here, you know, man. We can't forget the fact that I feel like this has happened. We had this event in the market, and like in a big way, you know, it takes a while for a huge move like that to happen. It takes a while before us to reset ourselves, to market reset ourselves, right? So in a consolidation phase in dollar CAD here, but I still believe that we're going to launch off this support at some point, you know, so
Definitely.
Yeah. And like, it just looks like quite a bit of consolidation here. And if the dollar strengthens, then man, this is going to be an awesome long-term play. But like on the short term, in terms of everybody's FTMO accounts and our challenges and what we're doing, you know, like I said, we want to get up early, and we want to get like in profits early and have 1 or 2, 3 positions that we hold. So then we're in profit. And Yasser, you're new to the group, so you go through this in the training. You know, you're in profit. You can leverage that profit and then like minimize the drawdown factor. And so dollar CAD looks like a great candidate for that. I haven't looked at NU yet, and so I'll take a look.
I think it's going to drop. I got it charted on the elite chat on Telegram.
Okay. All right. So what I see, just pulling it up, is this 61.8 right here. Still, we're trading this in like this double top. So I do have this trend line that's kind of coming through from here, which I don't know. Do you think we're breaking out of it, or do you think we're
I think it's making the same pattern it did on the other shoulder, and it's about to, I have it charted off to drop off of the, off of that same area.
Oh man, so I see. I wasn't even looking at the head and shoulders setup.
I have a bullish channel, like consolidation, and that if you check the 4-hour chart, you might have a better look at it.
Yeah. What, this one? I think for NU to break out, it's got to really like blast out of this zone right here. Is that what you're thinking, Steven?
Definitely.
Yeah. 61.8. So it's got quite a bit.
I had the US dollar index, the Dow dollar index. It's in demand right now too. So I feel like, you know, if you look at the Dixie's a little different. It's 60% weighted towards the euro. The US dollar is evenly weighted, and you can clearly see like it's consolidating in demand. I really feel like we're going to get a push with the dollar to the upside.
UJ here. What do you think? Moving higher, lower at this wick here? Kind of hard to tell.
I think that one's a little difficult.
What's up?
Yeah, Clay, on the daily, if you look at the closure of the previous two candles, it closed above that support line. If you draw a support line, it closed above it, and it actually retested that support line again. So I wouldn't be surprised to see one more leg higher in UJ. But if you go on the lower time frame, it actually looks a little bit bearish. So I guess long term, it looks a little bit like a bullish reversal is going to come up. But on the short term,
Got higher lows.
yeah, it's coming. Like, you know, that recent low, there's a higher low there, and I'm thinking it could push to the wick level at 104.96, 104.9.
Yeah, I like it. So this is from Ron, monthly support resistance on US dollar Swiss. Okay, yeah. I'll take a look at that real quick, Ron, and then monthly. Oh yeah, I mean the monthly. We're way down there, that's for sure. Let's see.
I just thought when we were talking about it, just trying to see, I was really looking on, trying to see historically around election time. But obviously, if you look at 2016, it was way above that. Just trying to see what impacted that, and then just noticed like, well, damn, we had a support, turned to resistance, flipped back over. Now we hit it again. You know, what, 5 years later, 4.5 years later?
Oh yeah. That could be a huge trade, man. Good call. Let's see. So if you saw my video too, so this is the opposite side of, and the reason I was looking at UJ, if it was going to be bearish, is that like on GJ, we have another kind of like, you know, flag consolidation looking pattern. And we keep getting rejected at this level here. So this, and like if you go out to a daily chart, you can see how it's pretty contained by this level, right? And I was thinking if we start to get momentum below here, you can see this would be the bearish pennant, right? This would be equal the same distance of the move down, the retrace, the correction, and that would be the ultimate risk off scenario for the pound, I think. But of course, that's just any headline, just like Yasser, like we were talking on the phone, any positive headline and boom, you know, the pound is just ripping again. So anybody else have their charts queued up, want to share? Raul, you got anything?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Let's see.
Yeah, can you see it?
Yep.
All right. So I've just reviewed my chart. So I only trade 4 pairs, but I'll go over everything. Our chart.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally
You back,
agree.
brother?
Is he back?
Yeah. Okay. It did go to recording, so you're good, Raul.
All right. So I don't know where I left off, but yeah, EU double top. A huge double top's coming up, and be looking for shorts in this region. And if a double top's confirmed, then it's going to shoot all the way back after a retest on the neckline. Of course, it's going to shoot all the way down to this area potentially. You know, plus with dollar strength, if dollar strength does come up instead of you know risk off, then yeah, that will be an awesome indicator for it. And you know, even with a tight stop loss of maybe, well, tight for me anyway, about a 20 stop loss, 20 pip stop loss, that's a 1-to-8 trade right there. That's almost the FTMO, man. So
yeah.
EJ, yeah, again, not going to look for too many reversals unless I see a structure like EU, but going to be trying to scale in on the trend. Going to try and just buy in the dips or sell the rallies, just depending on which way it goes, because yeah, unless I see a structure forming, like for example, this double top, when it formed, I caught that. If I see a structure like that form, then I'll go for it. If not, then I'm just going to leave it. Dixie, wait to see what the Dixie does, because you know, if it breaks this zone, it's going to keep falling to this 92 region. not 92, just above 92, 92.1. And then if it breaks that,
the dollar index looks so just like the dollar Swiss. Even usually Euro USD and dollar index look a lot alike, but dollar Swiss and the Dixie, man, are just like on point. It's like the same chart almost.
Yeah, it's basically
the
same.
Yeah, if I see, if I see a closure below this red line on the zone, I wouldn't hesitate to put a short in on USD Swiss franc, because once we see that closure, it closed below all these other wicks. I could see it hitting this region, and same with USD CHF. I don't have it charted up right now, but if it's moving really correlated with the Dixie, then yeah, I'd definitely go for it.
Nice, awesome charting, man. Awesome charting. Rico, what's up? Are you still on here? I don't think so. Rico, you there?
His mic's muted.
Yeah, I'm here.
There we go.
Oh, nice. Are you still trading EU mostly, or what?
I've been trading more. What's it called? I've been trading EU, but it hasn't been lucky enough for me. But what's it called? I do agree with Raul right now. It's forming a double top. I can see that being a short, so I'm looking for that as well. So that's the one I'm banking on this week. But I'm also open right now on what's it called? On USD CAD. I'm short on it right now, but I'm waiting for it to turn bullish. So if the dollar doesn't gain strength, then that's going to be perfect for the EU, and then confirms dollar CAD. So that's what I'm looking at. And then I haven't looked at any other pairs. So that's after this call, I'll look at the other ones. But yeah, EU, I can see definitely that happening, and that's the challenge. How Rose said, I was like 60, 70 pips. I was like, 5-7 center lot, you're good. Might even go for the 10. I'm gonna pull Raul right there.
Right. What about, has anybody been looking at the crosses too? So like, I've been looking at because the election and the dollar is going to just get super, super volatile. And, it might be a good plan for us to at least have a couple pairs. I usually just trade the dollar pairs. But the dollar's going to get crazy here in the next, in about 5 days. And actually, who knows after the election, who knows what's going to happen, or with all the mail-in voting and stuff. So I've been looking at Aussie pairs. I think Aussie CAD. I think we're at a pretty good level here. And I was just looking at it, and I'll share my screen real quick. Does anyone else kind of trade crosses more than the dollar anyways?
Yeah, I trade crosses mainly, to be honest with you.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I do whatever the relative strength index puts me to is what I trade.
Okay, like your own relative strength?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. There we go. You guys see my chart?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Aussie CAD here, we have kind of an inverted head and shoulders going on. I tried to get long here at the end of the week, Friday, and we failed. And, Blake talks about this a lot. He contests that inverted head and shoulders is a breakout pattern. I think he's a lot more experience than me. That typically a lot of times you see a reversal after it because of a failure, which you saw here. This was Friday. So we had this big move up, and man, this looks like it could be a pretty good opportunity because and Raul, we've been talking about, trading in the trend, getting on, not trading too much reversals and continuing on. And I think this looks like a great opportunity if, one, we get the risk off in terms of Aussie weakness and potential CAD strength. So maybe it doesn't work out for dollar CAD. I think this could be a great game plan, or second plan B, I guess you would say, because boy, look at this reversal, right? I mean, this is a trend reversal for sure if I've ever seen one. And now we're below this massive support here. So something just to think about, I was looking at on this daily chart, it looks a lot like a breakdown and a retest of this support, or what was support became resistance. So like, no matter what's going on in the US with the stimulus and stuff, I really think these, I'm going to be kind of targeting these Aussie pairs coming up into this week. I think could be a pretty good play. So sorry to interrupt, but you know, Stephen, have you been looking at any Aussie pairs as well? I know you focus on NZD.
Yeah, I actually have some alerts set up for like major reversals, but the main thing that I've really been actually looking at as far as trading has been, I have the NZD CAD set up. Same thing. I feel like the New Zealand dollar is going to go into weakness. I have two different trades set up, one on the NZD dollar and the other on the NZD CAD. But no, I don't remember if I have any Aussie stuff set up, to be honest with you. But I can show the other two trades that I have, if you want me to share that.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Are you able to share your screen right now?
Yeah. Let's see here.
I see what you're talking about on New Zealand CAD.
So I have this this one I already have pulled up and ready to go. Let me back out a little bit. So this is what I was talking about earlier. We have this you know, head and shoulders pattern, and I feel like this is a good trade. It's already kind of, you know, reacting to it, going to retest this area, and I really feel like we'll get a good little drop. My stop losses are normally like anywhere from 15 to 25. Like I try not to keep more than a quarter stop loss. So my trades are normally, I get in and out of like 30 and 60 pip trades. I try not to trade. I just don't like having any drawdown. So as soon as I get a retracement, I get out of the trade. And then if I see, you know, another zone to get in, I get back in because I've gotten my head busted too many times with good profit. But I feel like this is a good little setup right here. We're already reacting to it, especially if you go down to the 5. I'm going to actually jump in this trade. I'm going to see how this, you know, pans out. We hit this resistance level. I got my stop loss set up all the way to here. I really feel like we'll get a nice reaction out of this, and a good little drop. And then I have the NZD CAD set up. Very similar. Let's see here. And see, I just put alerts on like areas I think that are going to be, you know, good reversals typically, and then I watch them. If I get confirmation, like a nice reaction, then a retest, I jump in that retest. That gives me super small stop losses, and, you know, massive profit margins as well. So I feel like, you know, we have this area right here. Typically when you have a, you know, a area of you know, rally and then a breakdown through that, this is going to be a really good demand or supply zone. And we've reacted to it. Now we're retesting it. And I feel like we're going to get a nice drop out of here. And then I might ride this all the way down because there's going to be minimal orders against this, being that we had this massive rally. So it blew through all the orders, and then get in down here, look for the reaction, see what happens. And then I'm trying to remember what else I had.
Man, I'm looking at.
I know that I have.
I'm looking
this
at
is
CAD. It looks good, man. It looks like a good setup. If
it does.
If you look left all the way across on like a daily, like if you go to the daily and, you know, good old fashioned looking left at what we got, like
oh yeah.
If you can go way back, like even further back, man. And
yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Right? So
all kind of reaction to that area. Definitely.
Yeah, good call, man.
And this is what I was talking about. I make my own indexes. So this is the US dollar index that I make. And as you can see, we're like retesting, we're bamming in and out of this demand area. And it looks more similar to the Dixie to me. Like I said, it's weighted 60% euro. It's blown through that demand zone. But the US dollar, the Dow index, we're still in that demand. We're we've already bounced out of it once. I really feel like, and we're retesting, I feel like we're about to get a nice, we're in a daily uptrend. I think we're going to get up through here. I think we're going to blow through this zone. I really feel, that there's dollar strength coming on because we have higher lows. Bam, bam. We did have this one and we broke down through that, but it didn't actually, this area didn't make it all the way to this demand zone. So that's kind of like that's like a novice pivot. You actually have your institutional pivot here and we're going to blow up through here. I really feel like dollar strength is coming. And then this is the index I made for the GBP. We reacted to this. Let me put on the 12-hour. We reacted to this supply zone. It's gone down into this demand and it's basing around here. I think we're going to blow up through here, retest that. I think we have a lot of upside for this GBP. Of course, this is a 12-hour chart, so we're going to have lots of movement in between, but that's my overall sentiment for that. Typically these, the zones I map off work pretty well. So, but that is, that's all I have that I can remember that I have charted, other than, I have little, oh, actually, I forgot I do have this charted. I actually have this ready to go. Let me see here. 4 hour.
Yeah, I think AU looks pretty good.
Yeah, I had this little thing set up too. We're retesting there, and I rode this out both ways on Friday and Thursday. So see, we're retesting this little zone, and I feel like we're gonna get a nice little drop out of it. Yeah, I typically do my testing on, I enter my trades on Oanda through TradingView, and then if they start to move in the right direction, then I jump on them on my challenge. So it's kind of worked out really well for me as well.
Nice. I'm going to show my.
That's about all I got.
I'm going to show my AU real quick. And where are you at on your challenge?
I'm halfway through with 5 days of trading. I've been getting about $1,000 a day. I do a lot of scalping, what most people would call scalping, not really, or what I call scalping, 4-hour trades. Once I see a reaction the opposite way, what I'm going, I jump out. And then if it goes in my direction again, I jump back in, just because I got sick of drawdowns, like being profit $2,000 and it would retrace back to my stop loss, which I have a moving stop, and I would lose $1,000. So I was like, fuck this, man. I'm just going to jump in and out.
Nice. Yeah, totally, man. I think it's a great strategy. And AU, the way we, it's funny, we both are looking at, but different ways. I have this ascending wedge here that we broke out of, right? We have the ascending wedge. Then we have the big breakdown, the impulsive move here. And now it's, we're moving pretty on point in a downtrend now, right? So from this high to these fractals here, you can see retested, and maybe we get another retest of this trend line here. But just like you said, this nice little sell zone right there is pretty money, man. So I would love for us to maybe get a nice rally up into 71.60 for like a sell limit, and just have a stop up around here. I think that's going to be a great setup. So yeah, and then if we go up higher, then we know where the reversal is, or maybe this would continue. But if we get the risk off, the dollar strength, also if AU and NZD are so correlated that NZD starts breaking down, one of them leads the other. You just got to figure out which one's leading and which one's following, pretty much. Yeah, I think this looks like a great setup, man.
I think NZD moves faster than Aussie USD.
What's that?
I think NZD leads the way. At least moves faster than Aussie USD.
Yeah, a little bit, but both of them I think are like, for when I first started trading, for like when I started getting mentoring mentored too. The guy that was mentoring me was like, dude, I was trading like 100 things at a time. He's like, just like I teach you guys, like pick one. And I picked AU and I traded that for like a year. It was just like, but it's easy. It's not easy, but it's like a 40, 50 pip range in a day on a good day. Unless it's a huge move. So it's really, really technical. It doesn't have the massive runs that the pound will have. Pound's way more volatile and kind of follows less technicals, you know, but I think the big thing this week, guys, is going to be, you know, you always got to pay attention to the news, but really paying attention to, before you really start going in and establishing your positions this week, establish to yourself, like, is this a risk on or is this a risk off type of day? You know what I mean? Like, is this going to be the dollar strength, safe havens, yen, potentially the Swiss, or is something happen, some sort of stimulus or something that's going to make the stock market rally? Because if that happens, then we'll see CAD strength, Aussie strength, and NZD strength, and the pound. But I think establishing that first, it's going to be super important and effective, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So yeah. Does that make sense? Like with the risk on, risk off? I know everybody's been through the course now, but I think that's going to be like even more so than normal. I think that's going to be a big deal. So yeah, Sunday, we got a couple hours. Hope everybody had an awesome weekend. Davender, hope you enjoyed the sun down there in San Diego. Nice. Yeah, dude. Okay. Awesome. I'm going to be getting our live chat room set up, our live Zoom, our 24/7 trading room right now after this call. So I'll post the new link in the elite chat. And dude, let's have an awesome week this week, everybody.
Yeah, no doubt.
Rui, hope you recover from Corona.
Man, I'm fine. So at least I'm waiting for the confirmation from the nose test, you know. But the blood one at least is positive, like 90% positive.
Yeah.
But at least about symptoms, I'm feeling fine. Nothing.
Did you enjoy the nose swab?
Nah, not for a bit. That shit made me cry. I don't like it.
Too, man. Yeah, that wasn't fun. All right, everybody, let's crush it this week, man. If you're on your challenge or if you're doing your trial, you know, you got this for sure. You're just one trade away, really, to knocking out of the park. So, all right, everybody, I'll see you in the chat.
Thanks,
See
Clay.
you later.
See ya.
Guys.
Yeah.
Take care.